In many parts of Africa, when night falls, one sound can stop a village cold: the hoot of an owl. To many of us, it's just the call of a bird. But across vast regions of the continent, from the deserts of Namibia to the forests of Ghana, that cry is something far more chilling. It's a whisper from the realm of the dead, a message carried on silent wings, a warning that unseen spirits are watching. For generations, elders have spoken of owls that circle the roofs of homes where death is near, owls that perch on branches and stare for hours, unmoving, owls that deliver messages from ancestors long gone. Some say the birds are guardians, others say they are omens. But they all agree, when an owl comes in the night, something is coming with it. And in one village, a single owl's visit would spark a chain of events that no one could ever forget. Welcome to Owl Quest, where ancient legends take flight, and every shadow has a story. To understand why owls became so deeply rooted in African spiritual belief, we must step into a world where the boundaries between the living and the dead aren't walls, but thin veils. In many African cultures, death is not an ending. It is a transformation. Ancestors remain close, guiding, warning, protecting. Their presence is felt in storms, in dreams, and yes, in animals the spirits choose as messengers. Among these, the owl stands alone. With its silent wings, its ability to appear and vanish like smoke, and its enormous, unblinking eyes, the owl seemed crafted by nature to move between worlds. Elders believed the bird could see what humans could not, the wandering souls of the dead. Some tribes said the owl could even speak to ancestors, carrying messages between realms. Yet this gift brought fear. For why would a messenger of the dead visit the living, unless a warning needed to be delivered? In the Tswana regions, an owl on a rooftop meant sickness would strike the household. Among the Zulu, an owl calling outside a hut was believed to announce someone's final hours. And in the Chakwa tribes, owls were said to guide the spirits of the newly departed to the afterlife. Each belief added another stone to the legend. Each generation, another layer of dread. But legends are not merely told. They are lived. And one story, whispered around fires for decades, stands above the rest. The story of the messenger owl of Ngolo village. Ngolo was a village carved into the edge of a dense forest in what is now eastern Angola. Life there moved slowly, under the protection of ancient customs and the watch of ancestral spirits. But one cold season, everything changed. It began on a night when the air carried an eerie stillness, the kind of silence that feels like a held breath. The villagers slept peacefully, unaware that something watched them from the darkness. Just after midnight, an owl appeared, huge, dark-feathered, with eyes that gleamed like embers. It didn't swoop or circle as owls normally do. It simply landed on the center rooftop of the village, the home of an elderly healer named Kufuna. It stared, silent, motionless. Kufuna woke with a start, as if summoned. She stepped outside and saw the owl perched above her, its head tilting slowly, unnervingly, as if recognizing her face. She whispered one word, Mila, messenger. By morning, the entire village had heard. People gathered in uneasy clusters. Children were pulled inside. Windows were shut. Fires were stoked even in daylight. For everyone knew what it meant when an owl chose a healer's home. A message was coming. One meant for all. And before the village could understand its purpose, the first sign appeared. 3 days after the owl's arrival, a strange sickness swept through the region. Not in the village itself, but in the settlements nearby. Hunters returned with stories of people collapsing without warning, of fevers that struck like lightning. Kufuna, strange and quiet since the owl's visit, gathered the elders. She spoke of a dream she had the night before. A river turning black, animals fleeing, ancestors calling out in warning. The owl came because we were blind, she said. Something is moving toward us. The elders debated. Some dismissed it as superstition. Others insisted they prepare. But as night fell, their arguments were drowned out by a terrifying sound. The owl had returned, but this time it was not alone. 3 owls perched along the rooftops, each facing the village center. Their eyes glowed in the moonlight, unblinking, eerie. No one slept that night. Not a single person. At dawn, something happened that shattered all disbelief. A young herder stumbled into the village, exhausted, frightened, barely able to speak. He told the elders that a fire had consumed the neighboring settlement, the one struck by sickness. Homes burned, fields scorched, Smoke filled the sky. But what unsettled everyone were his final words. "We were warned," he whispered. "An owl cried above our homes the night before the flames." And suddenly, the village understood. The messengers had not come to bring death. They had come to warn them of it. Still, one question remained. What exactly were they being warned about? The following evening, Kufuna sat alone at the village boundary, staring into the dark forest. The owls were near, she could feel them. She whispered into the air, "Tell me what you want us to know." In the shadows, wings stirred. One owl, the same great dark one from the first night, glided down and landed on a fallen branch. It tilted its head, studying her as if weighing a decision. Then it hooted, not loudly, not aggressively, but slowly. 3 soft calls. Kufuna's face went pale. 3 calls meant 3 dangers: the sickness, the fire, and something else, moving silently toward the village. She ran to warn the elders. But before she could reach them, the ground beneath her trembled. Not violently, just enough to be felt. The villagers froze, silent, listening, and then they heard it. The distant rumble of hooves, dozens, maybe hundreds. A migrating herd of buffalo, startled by the fires in the neighboring region, was charging blindly toward the forest toward Ngolo. If they reached the village, nothing would survive. Kufuna cried out for everyone to flee toward the river. Families rushed through the trees, pushing through roots and vines. Behind them, the rumbling grew louder. Just as the villagers reached the water's edge, the first buffalo burst through the tree line behind them. But something else happened too. Above the chaos, the owls circled, guiding the villagers along the narrow river path where the herd couldn't follow. Their wings flashed in the moonlight like spirits lighting the way. When the herd finally thundered through the empty village, not one person had been harmed. The message had been delivered and understood. The next morning, the owls were gone. In Ngolo, that night became legend, the night the ancestors spoke through owls to save an entire people. For generations afterward, villagers would leave offerings beneath trees, thanking the messengers for their warnings and protection. Across Africa, beliefs still linger. Some see owls as omens of sorrow, others as guardians from the realm of the dead. But whether feared or revered, the owl remains a creature intertwined with mystery and emissary of the unseen world. Perhaps these stories are symbolic. Perhaps they are deeply spiritual. Or perhaps, in rare moments, nature truly does send warnings in forms we struggle to understand. Either way, when an owl calls in the night, it is never just a sound. It is a reminder that the world of the living and the realm of the dead may be closer than we think. If you wish to explore more ancient owl mysteries, join us on the next quest. The night is full of stories, waiting for wings. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.